Hey, what's up? John Shred here, and this is part 2 of a video where I'm talking about this 11700K. This time, I have a 3060 Ti GPU I'm putting inside, and we're gonna check out the performance difference. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If it's your first time here, go check out part 1. But I mean, I like to talk new technology and sometimes even the finances around it, and we will get into the cost of things in this video as well. So last time I talked about how I put this system together. Cost about $600 US. The idea was to sell it to a student, a young kid, someone who wants to chill, play Fortnite, and I wondered, hey, can I do it without a GPU? Because I ran out of GPUs around here, and surprisingly, you'll see in part 1 that some games actually worked really well. Now, I did go out and I bought this 3060 Ti for $250 USD, used, and which is a pretty good, reasonable price for a graphics card. So the question is, does it make a difference? Is the performance difference much? Is it worth $250, jumping the price from $600 to $850? Well, let's find out. Let's go through that same list of games again, and I'll give you the scores. So, first starting off is CSGO. CSGO frames came in at a whopping 350 frames per second. So reminder, it was 32 frames per second without a video card and 10 times faster with a dedicated GPU. Okay, let's see if the trend continues. Next up is Fortnite. Now, Fortnite was the worst performing one, and actually still ends up being the worst performing one, but you still get 120 frames per second. Now, as I was saying in a first-person shooter, more than 60 frames per second is pretty golden, especially for a budget machine. So if you can get twice that amount instead of 120 frames per second, I'd say you're doing pretty well. So, next up, oh, and that's also a 10x increase from the integrated graphics. Cool. Okay. Next up, Apex Legends. It was just a little bit better than Fortnite at 21 frames per second, and this one is now 350, which is ridiculous. That is a 16 times improvement by putting in a 3060 Ti. I hope you're seeing a trend. Okay, next up is Valorant. Okay, in Valorant we had 120 frames per second with integrated graphics, which was incredible, and it was one of the only titles that, yes, you could play. You slap this guy in, 450 frames per second. What? Which was the highest of any of the games that were tested, which is absolutely ridiculous. There are no, I don't think, at least monitors out there that have 450 hertz. 360 hertz is the highest I've ever seen. Please comment below if you know of any faster monitors. Once again, all these tests were done at 1080p, just to keep it along the same lines, which is, the resolution that gamers use, what I'm told, to get really high refresh rates. Okay, now let's stay with Riot. We are talking League of Legends. Now, this also performed extremely well on the integrated graphics at 150 frames per second. Not as much jump as I expected. Maybe because it's not that crazy of a game, but it went up to 250 frames per second, which in my opinion is still ridiculous amounts and not required, but it definitely was better. Okay, last but not least is putting TimeSpy to better understand. Last time I got an achievement for running 4 frames per second. This time was very, very different. It averaged in at about 70 frames per second. As you can see here from the footage, it looks pretty good. So, conclusion, does the 30i Ti make a difference? Yes, yes, yes. A huge difference. I think adding a $250 card to a $600 build, even though it's a third of the cost of the build, is well worth it. And if you didn't know, the GPU is by far the the most expensive part of your computer. So, are you someone looking for a computer and wondering which one to pick? Please leave a comment below which one I should sell with or without the GPU. I mean, I can always find another home for this GPU. But yeah, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you like this content, please leave a thumbs up and stay tuned for the next one.